Matot-Masei. Last year at about this time, my present successor to Lincoln Square Synagogue, Rabbi Saul Robinson, told me a very fascinating anecdote. Shortly before our meeting, he had visited a bakery in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, whose baked goods are favorites of his family, and he tries to get there Erev Shabbat for special baked goods for Shabbat. Lo and behold, what greets his eyes is a big sign above the display of special baked goods with a verse from Parashat Matot, the book of Numbers, chapter 32, verse 6. And Moses said to the Bnei Gad and the Bnei Reuven, those who wanted to settle the east side of the River Jordan immediately, Ha'achechem yavou lemilchama va'atem teshvu po? Will your brothers go out to do battle, and you will sit here in safety? He was shocked to find such a sign, especially since the owners of the bakery were known to him to be Satmar Hasidim. And he spoke to one of the owners, and he asked them, could it possibly be that you've become religious Zionists? Chazartem b'tshuva. You've become penitents. The owner of the bakery got the humor in the question, but did not quite understand the irony of the citation. He said, no. This sign is talking about the very big demonstration that we're having for people to keep Shabbat. We want everybody to go to the demonstration. How can your brothers go out to do battle for Shabbat, and you're going to sit in your homes and not join us? Obviously, the citation has nothing to do with going out and making demonstrations on behalf of keeping Shabbos. The citation has everything to do with the present struggle, ideological struggle within Israel, between the Haredi world and the religious Zionist and entire secular world in Israel. The facts are very clear. At the beginning of the establishment of the state, when there were perhaps 200 youngsters who were scheduled to go to the IDF, the Chazon Ish, very great decisor of the Haredi world and much of the entire Jewish world, went to meet with David Ben-Gurion, the then Prime Minister of Israel. His argument was that the Holocaust destroyed 1/3 of our people, but 4/5 of our leadership, and especially our religious leadership. The Torah community has been decimated, depleted, beyond recognition. And Ben-Gurion asked that a special permission be given to Haredi youngsters who are willing to spend the rest of their lives in the study of Torah, and give them an exemption from the army. That was done. Ben-Gurion agreed, because he thought that the Haredi world would quick disappear. And if we're only talking about 200 youngsters, and if we're talking about right after the Holocaust, he was ready to accede to the request. Now it's thousands and thousands of young men. And if they don't go to the Israeli army, they can't be part of the workforce in Israel. Now this, from a Haredi perspective, was also seen as a boon, because they're educating all of their young people for a life of Torah. They see Torah as a substitute for life rather than a prescription for life. And whereas there are thousands and thousands of Haredim in yeshivot studying Torah all day, something more than ever happened in the entire history of the Jewish people. At the same time, it's a drain, a great financial burden on the government of Israel. And it causes immense resentment within the rest of Israel. It seems as though things are changing. And perhaps by the time you watch this brief class, the facts on the ground will be that things have already changed. The truth is that the changes also already began several years ago, when the Nachal Haredi came to be. More and more, I think, leadership of the Haredi world has realized that it's counterproductive for them to have wholesale exemption from the army. Jewish law never, ever suggested that. Much the opposite. Jewish law has exemptions, but the Gemara in Sota 44 says very clearly that if it's an obligatory war, a war in self-defense, which is all of our wars in Israel, everyone must go, even a groom from the marriage canopy, even a bride from her bridal chamber. There is no room for exemption for Torah students. Even Joshua, the great leader of Israel, according to the Midrash, according to the Gemara and Daf Tzadi Tet of Masechet Menachot, Joshua, according to the sages of the Talmud and the Midrash, was a wonderful Torah scholar. And even about Joshua, the Gemara says, he loved Torah so much, he was able to go to battle and study Torah at the same time. And that really is the basis for the yeshivot hesder that we have in Israel, where young men study Torah and do battle for the Jewish people and Jewish future and the future of the free world at the same time. At any rate, what Moses said then to Bnei Gad and Bnei Ruvain is just as true to the Haredi world today. It cannot be that your brethren will go out to do battle and you will sit at home in peace and security while they fight for you. There are those who say that studying Torah is the best protection. But that's false to all of Jewish theology throughout the ages. We never rely on miracles where human life is concerned. We can only rely against those who come to destroy us on our doing battle for ourselves. Please God, may the time soon come when no one has to go out to battle. But when some of us have to go, all of us ought to go. All the best. Shabbat Shalom.